Andromeda?
Still compiling my first impressions. But even their body language is so emotional. I can't wait for my first session with Jarl.
Try not to scare him away, huh? One hell of a trip this is turning out to be. Hostiles, ruined worlds, no home in sight. Everyone's getting toasty. There was a 2-hour argument yesterday and no one even knew how it started.
That's not good.
Luckily, I have the perfect way for people to unwind. Movie night.
Taking a breather for a good movie? I could get behind that.
Best part is, it doesn't need to be good. Still get mileage out of the bad ones. It's worth it to jumpstart everyone's pioneer spirit and all that. The Tempest database is pretty dry. Could you download a movie library from Nexus Ops to see what I've got to work with?
5 time.
Thanks. Everyone will appreciate it.
Ryder?
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
So, Jarl,
So,
we haven't had a chance to talk alone. You comfortable in here?
I took it. It feels strange to stay with the others. They are your aliens.
And you're alien to us, so there. We have something in common.
We can look at it as a place to start.
Got it.
Perhaps then, if we're all aliens, it's about what kind of alien we are.
You had no idea about us, but you signed up to help us anyway.
Perhaps it had nothing to do with you.
Care to elaborate?
I do not.
How do you know Moshae Sefa?
She's our greatest mind on the Remnant. I was his student.
You studied the Remnant too?
A little. I was terrible. I quit. Or she threw me out. One of those. We're still very close.
So, is that your rifle?
It is now. It's Ket. With my own modifications. I like to tinker, to get my hands on something and take it apart.
That's a skill I know we can use. But I have one request. Please don't take apart my ship.
You're right. I signed up. Volunteered for this. It's exciting. There's something unique about you. Uneasy, raw, but somehow profound.
Face value? That sounds like a compliment. A nice one.
It is. Angara feel deeply. We have more trouble hiding our emotions than showing them. I should get back to my work.
When we have downtime, I'd love to watch you work.
Sure. I could show everyone.
No. Just us. So we can get to know each other better, or just share a hobby.
Oh, of course.
Good. Good.
Yes?
What's your story, Joel? Tell me about yourself.
Why?
Well, why wouldn't you? You hiding something?
Maybe. That would only make sense.
You're messing with me, right?
Possibly. What does that mean?
It's an idiom. Means you're joking, trying to make me feel uncomfortable.
Ah, then no. Ephra instructed me to be cautious. I'm not very good at being cautious. That's enough. Until we've established a better trust with each other.
Aya has so much biodiversity, and the waterfalls.
Just like Sirkesh.
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
With what it has to do, it could go thousands of miles below the surface of the planet.
Or completely span it. An underground network. Just a thought, of course. I wouldn't even know where to start hypothesizing how it all works. The remnant builders, whoever, whatever they were, accomplished something far beyond us.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist
Convinced me even more, especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again, they were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist. An inventor, not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
I take it you work closely with the Nexus Science team?
I tried to keep in contact with them. We discuss anything and everything we discover out here. After all, many brains are better than one, and Dr. Aridana is worth 2 or 3 at least. I work best when I have other people to bounce ideas off of.
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
It confused me too. I mean, the light lag would have made any data 2 million years out of date. So I asked Dr. Aridana, and she told me, well, it wasn't her tech that did it. It was the Geths.
You're kidding. Those killer robots we had in the Milky Way?
Those exact ones. The Initiative obtained data from an array in deep space. A Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor.
FTL sensor. So a faster-than-light telescope? They could survey Andromeda as it was?
Not exactly, but it cut down the lag by enough. We don't know why the Geth were interested in observing beyond the galaxy, though. Maybe we'll never know.
Did my dad know about this? Why didn't he tell me?
It's possible he didn't know. The Geth are isolationist and hostile. Using the info, even obtaining it in the first place, probably crossed a lot of boundaries.
What do you know about the Scourge?
We established that it's artificial. Someone put it there. Or they did something that caused its creation. We don't know why. That's still a mystery.
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet. Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
Sam's been compiling our star charts. The other pilots on the Nexus will have plenty of new trails to follow.
You can drop the charts off the next time we're there.
Funny. A few months ago, that station was like a war zone. Flying was my only way to escape the chaos. Now it's become a haven, just as it was meant to be.
Every good space station needs a big lake, maybe some fountains.
Indeed. Even non-amphibians need a little water. Regardless, the worst threat to the whole initiative is still that monstrosity.
You mean the Scourge?
I still see it crippling the Nexus in my memories. I had to train other pilots in hazardous flight techniques just to look for food and water. It's a cage that eats good ships and good people. Helios won't be home so long as it's a threat.
The Angara live with it, and so can we.
And if every one of our colonists was an ace pilot, I wouldn't be worried. If we could somehow neutralize it, or if our ships had defenses against it. Still, that's what we do, isn't it? Find a way where there is none. Just see the Nexus for proof of that.
Bridges 4, engine rooms aft, med bay starboard. Smart stuff up front, powers them back.
I did not like the look of that Archon. Maybe the Angara will let me pitch a 10 on Aya for the duration.
Didn't think you were the type to run from trouble.
Well, when you put it that way. All right. Next time, keep him on the line. I might have something to say.
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
There you are. Gotcha.
Do I need to get Lexi to do a psych review?
Maybe. People have been telling me I'm crazy my whole life. Just dealing with some Scourge issues. That Archon fella tried to warn you not to joyride into it, but you were just la la la. It was an act first, think later move. I respect it. Well, more like I resemble it. Hey, you play poker?
Come again?
Poker. Card game with bluffing, betting. It's an age-old measuring stick of a person's character, fortitude, guts. Used to think maybe it was my calling. Turns out I'm just good at it. Never lost heads up. We should play sometime.
Willing to put your streak on the line?
Huh. I'll risk it. Next time we port up and you're in the mood, I'm always in the mood.
Arrogant son of a bitch. Maybe that's redundant for a cat.
He's also the first cat who bothered to talk to us. That's useful intel.
True, they can communicate. They just prefer to open fire. So, what else is new?
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
Old man.
Strong, honorable survivors. Been a while since I encountered a new friendly species. Last time was the humans.
Oh yeah, you lived through first contact with them, didn't you?
If I recall, my exact words were, "They're bold for being so squishy. Do they know they're mostly water?"
Harsh. Don't let Ryder hear you.
Ryder, you meet Spender yet? Colonial Affairs, the ass in Assistant Director. Got no idea why Addison keeps him around. Spender lied to the Krogan during the uprising, and he's headed out for cash ever since. He's up to something. I just can't prove it. We should pay him a visit on the Nexus.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Hey, one last thing.
Yeah?
Is everyone a kid to you?
Ha, when you get to be my age, yeah, pretty much.
Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
If we knew what it was all about, it wouldn't be an adventure. It would just be moving, and everyone hates moving. Just the packing alone. Bleh.
Point taken. I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive. Makes me believe we can make it. I mean, we have to make it. The alternative is not even worth thinking about.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Hello, Ryder. Meeting with Yangara is truly historic.
I'll say.
My only comparison is Alec Ryder's experience in the First Contact War, a time of uncertainty and cultural misunderstanding. We are arguably in a similar time, yet your encounter was peaceful. I can see what humanity has learned.
Thanks, Sam. Nothing more.
picking up something. Deploying probe. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Watch your tone. You saw what happened to Krogan.
Construction and repairs continue on various parts of the Nexus. Authorities have no word on completion and remind visitors to avoid affected areas. This is HNS.
Attention, civil
I'm sorry,
disobedience
Lana.
has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating.
I can't believe he's not. What's up?
Talk to you later, Davis.
I'll be here.
How's the pathfinding? Good?
I'll let you get back to work.
A reminder to all personnel, overtime hours
Apex
remain
team
in
leaders
effect.
reporting back. Hey, Ryder, I'd like a moment.
Yes? Lieutenant Syax, right?
That's me. I'm putting together Apex strike teams to protect the people and assets you're setting up out there. We don't have a good sense of what we're up against, and could benefit from your experience.
I'll have Sam upload our insights on the Ket, Remnant, and outlaw forces we've encountered.
Thanks. You'll see. Apex will make a difference.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. A violent illness related to cherry-like fruit brought back from Habitat 7 has authorities baffled. Multiple passengers are still in quarantine. This is HNS.
Tell our leaders! Wake the sleepers!
Jonesy.
I know.
Plan before cronies.
Free our families! Free our families!
Make them hear. Make them know. Make them lead or make them go.
Tell our leaders! Wake the sleepers!
Make them hear. Make them know. Make them lead or make them go. Make them hear. Make them know.
Hey, what's going on?
That's your new galaxy. Making speeches about some fresh start while your kids stay frozen.
And it's all thanks to your Pathfinder.
Excuse me?
We've waited months for our families to come out of stasis. They should have gone to your outpost.
But since you think research is so important, military personnel got bumped down the list, like my clan brothers.
All the reassignments mean they're in 10 different colony blocks now.
And my mother just got caught in the middle.
I founded the outpost. I didn't decide who would stay in stasis.
You don't care that you've torn families apart?
That's not what I said.
Maybe you could still make this right. I just want Mom out of stasis. That's all anyone here wants.
You do stasis revivals. You can tell our leaders you're opening those pods. Today.
I authorize whole colony blocks or a few emergency revivals. I can't wake dozens of random people.
We don't care whose finger pushes the button. If you can't, our leaders can. And if you tell them, they will.
Okay, I'll talk to the leadership about what we can do.
14 months of promises. It's time for some results.
We tried petitioning Addison. She ignored us. Screw her.
Start with Kandros. He sent those 10 soldiers over there. Maybe he'll take us seriously. Our Nexus, our lives!
A bar opens on the Nexus. Visitors herald the vortex as a sign of civility, and the opposite of civility, as more sleepers wake in need of a drink. This is HNS. Colonial Affairs, please advise Director
Fix it.
Pan of
I'll
your
handle
status.
any fallout. No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
I need to talk to you about stasis revival and those protesters in hydroponics.
I see. Maybe I should get the others for this.
Protesters have seized hydroponics?
They want their families out of stasis. The outpost on Eos disrupted the schedule. They're scattered across colony blocks. Dozens of people. The protesters want this fixed today.
The realities of our position are...
We can't wake those families. We don't have the resources, and there's nowhere to put them.
We settled Eos. There's no space down there for a few extra...
It's not that simple, Ryder. Everything Eos produces right now is accounted for.
And if we send soldiers to a research outpost, there'll be trouble.
What do you suggest?
Leave the families in stasis where it's safe and get those protesters out of hydroponics. They seem sympathetic, but so did the exiles. We can't risk another revolt. Survival is more important than family reunions.
What would you do with the protesters?
I'd send in a squad and march them out. At gunpoint if we must. If they resist, a few might land in medbay, but it's better than losing hydroponics. Or the Nexus.
Do you think these protests could turn violent?
We're all pioneers. Even civilians are tough enough to start something.
And interfering in hydroponics threatens our oxygen supply. They know that.
We have to look at the bigger picture. Get them out of there.
Kandros?
I'll send in a team, but it might go smoother if Ryder's there.
A good idea. Sometimes we have to give bad news. That's a Pathfinder's duty, too.
Weekly injury report. Casualty rate matches projections.
Just stand down, ma'am.
Or you'll shoot me. Good luck explaining that to my grandchildren.
What happened?
She was about to disconnect the water hoses, threaten all the plants.
They're saying the leaders won't wake our families. Well, this is how far we're willing to go. Their move.
I know this is hard, but for the good of the Nexus, we need you to be patient.
We've already waited. How old will I be by the time Mom's out of stasis?
Take it easy, kid. The Pathfinder's got a point.
I'll go off station if I have to. I'll find anyone who'll actually do something.
You want your mom to wake up and find you exiled? Or dead?
Reese, don't. Anything's better than that. Even the longest wait of our lives.
When our families hear about this...
They'll probably agree with the Pathfinder. You're done here. Come on.
Stock looks half decent. Too bad we couldn't get the storage pods in the damaged sections.
Decent?
Hey.
Ryder, watch your tone.
Sleepers wake from stasis. The initiative urgently requires blood, tissue, and DNA donations.
Well, you're not getting it. Stop making frivolous requests.
It's not a frivolous request. Properly functioning air filters are at...
Frivolous. You'll just have to make do.
We can't fix the station breathing bad air.
Your incompetence isn't my problem. Just do your job.
What do you want?
Sounds like you're having a rough day.
You saw that, huh? Oh, I'm sorry I snapped at you. The way Spender treats me? Everyone, I'm so angry. I don't understand how he's in any position of authority.
I haven't heard much good about that guy.
Whatever you've heard, it's not half as bad as the reality. Just last week, he tried to redirect some of the supplies we need to keep the stasis pods going.
Why?
I have no idea. But if Kesh hadn't stepped in and threatened to airlock him, it would have been a disaster. He's always like that. Making bad decisions, driving the Krogan away, treating people like scum when no one's watching.
Maybe there's something I can do.
A man like that's bound to have some dirt. I wish Tan and Addison could see it. Things have gotten so bad that Kesh had to literally kick him out of engineering.
How literal we talking here?
Boot to ass. Oh, it was glorious. We need him gone, but as incompetent as Spender is at his job, he's insanely good at keeping it. Kesh can tell you more.
Right now, I can sleep for 600 more.
Dell told me you saw her arguing with Spender. Hijack's doing his best to throttle my department.
How's he getting away with that?
Spender doesn't know the first thing about engineering, but he knows how to play people. More importantly, he still talks to the exiles. I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it without your help.
Does anyone else know about this?
My grandfather tried to tell Tan. He wouldn't believe him without proof.
If he's really this bad, how does he keep his job?
Welcome to the Nexus. Look, I can work with everyday incompetence. But Spender's a traitor and a danger to the station. He needs to be dealt with.
This needs to be investigated.
I'm glad someone thinks so. Talk to Kandros. He likely has security footage, some kind of evidence. But you'll have to convince him to authorize release.
Nothing more for now.
See you later.
Suspects in custody.
Thanks for understanding. About the outpost and the protesters.
You don't strike me as the political type.
I'm not. Just pro keeping everyone alive. Maybe those protesters will eventually understand too. It's done. I don't want to think about it. Need something else?
I was told I should talk to you about the mutiny.
I wasn't on the Nexus when it happened. I started reading up on it, but you know how things get around here.
Do you know where Spender was during that time?
Why Spender? Wait, you think he might have had something to do with the mutiny?
Maybe. Just trying to sort things out.
You know, the logs I did look through showed a few discrepancies. I meant to dig deeper. If you're investigating, how about I give you access to the security vid archives?
Thank you.
Anything else?
Bye, Kandros. Duty call. Huh. This file won't play. Sam, can you boost the quality?
Processing. Playback initiated.
Wait. Is he handing something over to one of the mutineers?
Take this. It'll help you armory. Don't.
I am sorry, Pathfinder. This backup file is corrupted. The audio tracks are heavily degraded. Someone may have deleted the original, and this version was restored during a system-wide reset.
Sounds like a cover-up to me.
I concur. While I cannot restore any more audio, the location appears to be Kodara.
How do you figure?
In common parlance, lip reading. I do not recognize the location from any current data. It appears mountainous and populated. We will need to find the planet before I can confirm. I will contact you via my node.
Let's go confront Spender.
Colonial Affairs, please advise Director 10 of your status.
Ryder, is it? William Spender. Apologies if we met before. I meet a lot of people running Colonial Affairs.
Running Colonial Affairs? I thought you were the assistant director.
That's right. Assistant to Addison. So we know who does all the real work.
From what I've heard, your hands are pretty dirty. I saw the footage. You were handing something off.
What footage? From Gavorkum? Routine business meeting. Whoever you're talking to clearly has an axe to grind. And frankly, a Pathfinder shouldn't be wasting time on a witch hunt. You'd be wise to let this be.
Top scientists have few answers, as the dark energy anomaly known as the Scourge limits travel and communication in the cluster. This is HNS.
Hey, did you get your latest delivery?
We've had no trouble, boss.
An expedition to Eos in the Pythia system.
Pathfinder, are we going to Vold or Havarl?
You have new email at your terminal, Pathfinder.
And you both have biotics. That's how it's said?
Yep. Though, sorry biotics are a few 100,000 years ahead.
Humans are catching up.
Humans back home, maybe. You skipped class for 600 years.
That's enough. Until we've established a better trust with each other.
You know, Costa, poker is its own kind of thrill. Still not playing with you.
I'll play.
Really? Gambling doesn't seem like your style.
Why? Because I have more degrees than you have fingers.
Oh, shots fired. All right, Doc. You're on.
I got a copy of the Nexus's movie library.
Thanks. I'll look through it. It's probably all agricultural learning vids, but there might be something good. I'll keep you posted.